Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Good to see you again. We've got game 3 here of last Wednesday's matches against some local homies. And yeah, we're playing against Law. Law is a little bit of an odd matchup for Smoker. Sometimes it feels really good. Other times it feels like there's not really much you can do if they just high roll and get some absolutely insane searches off. And I really do think that this became one of the better Law matches that I've ever had playing against with Smoker as the leader. And yeah, Kevin's a veteran Law player, been playing since OP01, and I think he just got top 32 recently at one of the regional tournaments. Or was it regional or was it a Treasure Cup? I'm not entirely sure, but we started off. And yeah, I will just go ahead and give you a spoiler alert. He's got a really, really good hand. He's got an incredible amount of searchers, and it's an uphill battle for sure. But we play brand new. I get to look at 3. I've got Smoker 2 times and Borsalino. I think we just take the Borsalino though and trash the Smokers. I do still have 1 Dawn left. I'll just go ahead and swing 6. Gives him that card, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I do have to whittle down his resources a little bit. And he's got Nami, so Nami down uses the activate main ability to get that rest to Dawn onto leader. He's got another Curly to Dawn and does whiff this one. So I was like, oh, thank God. All right, we might have a chance, guys. We might have a chance. And now I'm staring down this board that I can't really KO, quickly enough, especially with only having 5 Dawn. But we will just go ahead and use leader ability here on Chopper, and I'll swing 7. He's just going to take that. I'll play brand new for 2. Take a look, and pick up Sakazuki. Does suck to trash a couple of 2K counters, but I used the Meteor Volcano to get rid of the Nami. I was considering getting rid of the Chopper, but the Nami just seems pretty annoying. It just constantly gives him that extra Dawn, and I really just don't want to deal with it. So, but you see the Jewelry Bonnie come down, and he does, I think, whiff that search as well. So he's had all the searches he needed, but it's just missing a few right here. And it does make me feel a little bit better, but he does choose to go for another Nami search. Picks up the 5-drop Law. Happy to see it. And he'll just go ahead and swap out, return one of the Bonnies, play Nami. And yeah, he's just looking it over. Probably going to pick up like a Zoro, Chopper, Radical Beam, and Chopper it is. I see that the camera keeps getting knocked. The table is just being hit here or there. I have been thinking about getting a tripod to try and keep the camera up a little bit more better, or a little more stable, and just like a better thing overall, because I think that mounting it to some of these tables, some of them, as you can see, like this one isn't a solid table. It's more of like, one of those tables you get from, what would you call it? Kind of like a lawn. It's like a backyard lawn table, And I'll go ahead and use Sakazuki, KO the Law, and just thinking about what I want to trash, and I think I end up going with the Smoker here. A little bit unfortunate because that card really does some work in this matchup, but yeah, we're just going to let it go. And I think we'll just swing 7. Yeah, we'll just swing 7, and I think... Oh yeah, he already took the life. That's right. He took it preemptively. He was like, yep, you're swinging 7. I'm taking that for sure. And yeah, it looks like we have 8-drop Isho in hand, though. That is going to be the play if we can keep him at that 6-card in hand sweet spot. But we do see the Bonnie, so this is a little bit nice for me. It helps recycle the hand. Does feel a little unfortunate him having another Law that he'll just be able to put down and cycle again. But there's another Curly as well. It's definitely feeling pretty abysmal seeing all of these searches, that is for sure. And he picks up the Makino for the 2k counter. I've got 4-drop Kuzan, the 8-drop Isho. And yeah, we just got to do some work. But 6 at life. We do choose to take. I'm like praying to get a Trafalgar, or a, Shockwave out of life. But he picks up the Shambles with the Law, dropping 2 more choppers. And I'm just like, gosh, he's got a wall. He's got searches. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. And now he's just shuffling it up. We play Isho. I think he's got about like 8 cards, 7 cards in hand, something like that. But it does lower down this, it does lower it down just a little bit. Puts 1 card to the side, and we'll choose another. I just chose them at random. It looks like we got Radical Beam and Curly to Dawn. This feels amazing. Just getting that Radical Beam out of the way. You know, most Law players are only running the one of Radical Beam. And I'm happy with that. So we swing 7, we get a chopper, we swing 7 again, and we get Law resting and countering out with a 2k. So I don't feel like the spot that we're in is all that bad. We're looking okay. The only thing I'm a little nervous about is that, you know, with Restand Law being a thing in the deck, taking out Sakazuki is much easier. So -2 to my Sakazuki, and then a 7k swing with Law. I just got to let it go. He's got so much Dawn left to work with, and 5-cost Law can swing Restand. There's just far too much. Yeah. And it looks like we're going to see a 7k swing coming from Curly to Dawn here. That does make me wonder. I'm like, huh, that's a pretty heavy swing. You know, a lot of Dawn right there just for Curly. But I think we just end up taking this. And then I just kind of have to hope that we get some useful cards out of life. We see another 7k. I will just counter out of this. We'll see the Shambles, and Law puts down Curly to Dawn and grabs a Makino. So I know that my opponent has 2 Makinos in hand now. I believe he's got a Bonnie that he put back, and I'm trying to keep track of a lot of the cards that are going back so that I have a good idea of what's in his hand. It is kind of hard to keep up with sometimes, but you know, we do our best. We do our best. And now I'm considering where I'm going with this. I'm going to go 9k at the Law. So he could give me 2k counters, or he could block out of this. I'm fine with either one. So we do get some of the 2ks out of the way. And yeah, so I'm just kind of making him work for this. And it looks like we're just going to play another Sakazuki. I'll trash my Kuzan. And still got 4 Dawn to work with. Borsalino is an idea. I also could swing with Smoker, but I think we just decided to go with the Borsalino instead. And he does take this 5k swing, and now I've got Borsalino. So if he takes the 5k there, that makes me feel like he's gotta have just a solid amount of blockers in hand. And he uses Otama on Isho, bringing Isho down to 7. And now we'll see a 9k swing with Law. I'm like, man, he's got to dedicate so much Dawn if he wants to KO this. But I also have to dedicate a lot of my hand. I'm only sitting on 4 in hand at the moment. And it looks like we have 3 1k counters. So it just felt like a little bit of an overcommit if I was going to try and protect that there. And we're going to see a 7k with Law. I will go ahead and take that. And he will use Shambles, makes the Restand Law, which does terrify me. And I was like, oh god, thank god he didn't swing. He did not swing. I thought I was in some deep water right there, but we kind of muddle through. And now my hand is not bad, but it's also not great. I don't feel like I'm in a phenomenal position. I still have a lot to get through with, you know, his hand size and how many blockers he has on field. And if I can't get, you know, obviously not going to get through this turn, but if I don't get through this turn, you know, how many blockers does he still have left? And he uses Law in a 2k. I was very happy about that. I'm not too worried about the chump blockers, the little weenie, you know, Chopper and Veggie. I just kind of want to pull cards from hand as much as possible right now, because in the following turn, I do have some cards that are capable of KOing those, you know, small one-cost cards. But it's going to take the perfect, it's going to take the perfect swings. And I do swing 5 with lead. He does counter out with Curly to Dawn. We're going to play Kuzan. I looked over it, and it just felt like after looking at my hand and my options, I didn't really have another play other than playing Kuzan and just kind of hoping for the best, seeing if I can get something useful. Now, we do play Kuzan, and we pick up the 8-drop Isho. Does us absolutely no good whatsoever. We're coming down to like the final turns. Basically, there's no way that I'm gonna be able to survive either next turn, because like this turn I should be fine. I got 4 cards in hand. I've got 2 blockers. I should be perfectly fine, and a life. But if I cannot KO my opponent in the clapback of the following turn, it's just game over. So I know that that's the situation I'm in. I kind of have to protect life with what I have, hopefully save as many of the Borsalinos as possible, you know, try to get my opponent not to be able to just absolutely recycle them. Looks like the camera got hit again, but yeah, he's realizing this as well. He's realizing that, you know, he's working with what he's got, and he's got to figure it out. But he does choose to play Bonnie, and we're going to see a Restand Law. Restand Law terrifies me in this situation. It does feel kind of good that the Chopper probably won't be played then. Or won't be played, it'll be, yeah, bounce back to hand, and then he'll Shambles for the Restand. But it does feel like my Borsalinos feel a little heavier now. They're probably going to get KO'd if he does choose to go for the all-around heavy swing. So I think this is 6k with leader. So we'll see a 6k at life. Yeah, we'll 2k counter out of that, but I know that my opponent has used many of the why am I forgetting the name of it? The Otamas. So Sakazuki isn't, you know, like fully Otama this time. And he's trying to, I think he was deciding whether he wanted to do 9k or not. And I believe that he does. He does stick with the 9k. And maybe he changed it to lead. He did. He changed the attack to lead from Sakazuki. And now he restands, and he'll go 9 at life again, I'm assuming. I will go Borsalino for the block. And he does Shambles, putting out a Chopper. And now this is pretty wild. He has another Capone Bedge. So 4 blockers I have to get through. My opponent only has like, what, 2 cards in hand. I take my sweet time here considering my options. This is tough. This is the final turn, and I have to think about how do I get around every single blocker. And he's also got 1 Dawn up. I think that you know, he's just trying to, you know, bait me here, because I've played Kevin enough to know that he doesn't run like guard point or anything like that. He's got the 1 of Radical Beam in there. And yeah, so I know that what I'm working against is probably like a 2k and a 1k, maybe potentially 2 2ks. And this is tough. This is really, really tough. I'm not ecstatic about this, but we have enough swings to get through. It's just with the sheer amount of blockers, you know, it's going to be really, really difficult with whatever cards he's got in hand. And I know that in my hand, I have 2 Kobe's. I have the 3-drop Kobe and the 4-drop Kobe. And I'm just kind of considering, should I be going for the KO on some of these like bigger blockers like Law, or should I go for the KO on the small chumps? And what order should I be doing this? So I choose to go 5 with Kuzan, lowering Law to 1. He does counter out with Makino, going to 1 card in hand left, and that was his 2k counter. So since I went 5 and he had a 2k counter, that makes me feel as though his last card is another 2k counter. I will play Kobe, and I'll just go ahead and KO the Law. I gotta swing 4 times in order to get through. I'll use leader ability on Chopper, going down, bringing Chopper down to 0. But yeah, we're just gonna swing 7. He's got a block. We swing 7 again. He's got a block. And now I use Kobe to KO this, and I swing 7 with Borsalino, and it worked out. He had the last 2k counter. I don't think that with the remaining Dawn, I probably could have got there, but it would have been really close. I'm not sure. I think I had like 5 Dawn left. I would have had to go 4 on Brand New and 1 on Borsalino. No, so I wouldn't have got there. So I went the Kobe route in order to ensure that I had a 7k swing versus a 6k and a 7k, because he just would have countered out of the 6k and then blocked the 7k. But what a phenomenal match, and always good games against Kevin. I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, just let me know your thoughts. Other than that, really excited, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be going into some OP04 matches here, you know, proxy matches that I've been playing with some friends in the near future. So probably either starting tomorrow or maybe this Saturday, we might be doing that. But yeah, hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.